The t-shirt, just united front was determined this morning that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our deep dives into the biggest stories in sports. Today, we're diving headfirst into the WNBA's latest firestorm. Colin Cowherd's scorching takedown of Los Angeles Sparks guard Kelsey Plum after her controversial comment about Caitlin Clark during the 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend. This drama has everything: star power, shade, and the growing pains of a league that's finally getting the attention it deserves. So, grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's break it all down. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, held on July 19th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, was billed as a celebration of the league's talent, unity, and rising popularity. The atmosphere was electric, with fans packing the arena to cheer on the WNBA's brightest stars. But the real story wasn't the game itself. It was the drama that erupted off the court. Before tip-off, players made a bold statement, rocking t-shirts that read, "Pay us what you owe us." This was a direct message to WNBA officials amid tense collective bargaining agreement (CBA) negotiations for 2026 and beyond. The t-shirts were a powerful symbol of solidarity, a unified demand for better compensation in a league where players have historically been underpaid compared to their male counterparts. It was a moment that could have been all about the players standing together. But then, Kelsey Plum stepped up to the mic in the post-game press conference, and everything changed. Sitting next to New York Liberty star Sabrina Ionescu, Plum was asked about the t-shirt protest and how it came together. She explained that the players finalized the plan in a players-only meeting that morning. Then, she dropped a line that sent shockwaves through the room. Not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. The air went still. Ionescu, who played on Team Clark for the All-Star Game, shook her head, visibly uncomfortable, and muttered, "Not really needed to be mentioned." Plum tried to brush it off, saying she was just keeping things light, but the damage was done. The comment was immediately interpreted as a jab at Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's superstar and the WNBA's biggest draw. Social media lit up, with the clip spreading like wildfire on X and fans piling on with reactions ranging from outrage to defense. The narrative was set. Kelsey Plum just threw shade at Caitlin Clark. Let's take a moment to talk about Caitlin Clark because she's the heart of this story. Clark, the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, has been nothing short of a phenomenon.
Channel defense by the Sparks fans. 6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep 3.
Oop, that is!
She missed her first 7.
In her second season with the Fever, she's averaging 16.5 points, 5.0 rebounds, 8.8 assists, and 1.6 steals per game, despite battling a groin injury that forced her to sit out the All-Star game. Her impact transcends stats. Clark has brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA, driving up ticket sales, TV ratings, and arena attendance. Her games are must-watch events, with sellout crowds and new fans flocking to the league. She's the reason the WNBA finally implemented full-time chartered flights for teams, a massive upgrade from the days of players squeezing into budget airline seats on carriers like Spirit or Frontier. As Fox Sports analyst Colin Cowherd put it, Clark is the league's golden goose, a once-in-a-generation talent who's reshaping the WNBA's financial landscape and bringing in revenue that could finally make the league profitable. So, when Plum called out Team Clark for missing the t-shirt meeting, it struck a nerve. Enter Colin Cowherd, the outspoken host of The Herd, who's never been one to shy away from a hot take. On the July 21st episode of his show, Cowherd unleashed a blistering response that's still reverberating across sports media. "Why do you take a shot at the golden goose, Caitlin Clark?" he asked. "You guys were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water. One of those airlines that the planes are the color of a highlighter. Now you're flying private. You went from a Motel 6 in a sketchy part of town to a 4 Seasons in the shopping district. Stop talking." That clip exploded online, racking up millions of views on X and sparking a firestorm of reactions. Some fans cheered Cowherd for defending Clark, while others slammed him for what they saw as a condescending tone. Cowherd didn't stop there. He doubled down, saying, "If you're in a band and you're staying at the Motel 6, and you add a band member and now you're at the Ritz-Carlton, keep your issues to yourself. I don't mind the t-shirts. I think you have leverage. I think you deserve more than 9%, but it's just misstep after misstep. It's time to grow up, girls, like fast. This is the player that got you off the airline that was bright yellow." Ouch. That's the kind of soundbite that gets clipped, shared, and debated for days. The use of girls to address WNBA players drew particular criticism, with many calling it dismissive and disrespectful to a league of professional athletes. But Cowherd's core argument that Clark's impact has elevated the WNBA to new heights was hard to dispute. So let's break this down. Was Plum's comment really a jab at Clark? And was Cowherd's response justified? Let's start with Plum's comment. Was it shade, or was it, as some have suggested, just a poorly executed joke? ESPN's Ramona Shelburne offered some context on X, noting that the T-shirt meeting took place at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday, July 19th. Apparently, many players from Team Clark, including Clark herself, were out late the night before at the Stud Buds Twitch stream, a lively event hosted by Minnesota Lynx players Courtney Williams and Natisha Heidemann. Clark was spotted at a Mario concert, dancing and singing with a drink in hand, joined by teammates like Aaliyah Boston and even her aunts. Shelburne suggested that Plum's remark was meant as a playful dig at Team Clark's absence due to their late-night antics, not a serious accusation against Clark's commitment to the pay equity fight. It was fairly obvious Kelsey Plum tried to make a joke that didn't land, Shelburne wrote. Plum herself tried to clarify her intent, saying she was just keeping things light and that the T-shirt protest was a very powerful moment that showed the players' unity. She emphasized that the message got across without needing to say much. But here's the problem. When you single out Team Clark in a public setting, especially when Clark is already a lightning rod for attention, it's going to be interpreted as shade. Context gets lost in the social media age. Fans and analysts ran with the narrative that Plum was accusing Clark and her teammates of not supporting the pay equity cause, even though Clark and her squad wore the "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts during warm-ups, clearly showing their support for the protest. The optics were terrible, and Plum's attempt to play it off as a joke didn't quell the backlash. Now, let's dive into Cowherd's response. Was he right to go after Plum so aggressively? On one hand, his analogy about Clark elevating the WNBA from a Motel 6 to a Four Seasons is backed by hard data. Clark's games are sellouts, and her star power has attracted new sponsors and media deals. The WNBA, which has never turned a profit and relies on NBA subsidies, is finally seeing a path to financial stability, largely thanks to Clark's impact. Cowherd's point is that players like Plum should be grateful for Clark's contributions, not taking shots at her, especially during a moment when the league is trying to project unity. He even drew a parallel to Michael Jordan, noting that, like Jordan's injury-plagued second year in the NBA, Clark's current groin injury is just a temporary setback. This year, she's not playing well, Cowherd said, referencing her dip in efficiency under 40% from the field. But the projection for the WNBA going forward and the current momentum are really, really good. On the other hand, critics argue that Cowherd's rant went too far. Calling out Plum and telling her to stop talking and grow up felt personal, and his use of girls to address WNBA players sparked accusations of condescension. Three-time NBA champion Stacey King weighed in, supporting the players' push for better pay, but questioning Plum's decision to call out Clark's team. As you're fighting for better salaries and portraying a united front at your biggest event, you still find a way to throw shade at Caitlin Clark. Why? King asked on his podcast. It's a fair question. Plum's comment, even if meant as a joke, undermined the message of solidarity at a critical time for the league. This drama isn't just about Plum and Clark, it's a reflection of deeper tensions within the WNBA. Clark's meteoric rise has been a double-edged sword. She's brought unprecedented attention to the league, but that spotlight has also exposed some underlying friction. Veteran players like Plum, who've toiled in the WNBA for years with less fanfare, might feel overshadowed by Clark's hype. Plum, now in her 8th season and recently traded to the Sparks, has been a key figure in the league's growth, winning 2 championships with the Las Vegas Aces. But Clark's arrival has shifted the narrative, with media often focusing on her at the expense of other stars. Posts on X captured the divided sentiment, and Mr. Spirit's Raven called Plum toxic and jealous, while at Sportsnaut warned that alienating Clark could hurt the WNBA's financial future. This isn't just about one comment, it's about a league grappling with its newfound fame and the challenges that come with it. There's also a racial undercurrent to this story that's impossible to ignore. Cowherd has previously suggested that some of the criticism Clark faces has a racial component. On a July 2, 2025 episode of The Herd, he pointed out that Clark was voted the number 1, 9 guard by her peers for the All-Star game, despite topping fan and media votes. There's obviously a racial component here, he said. The WNBA players just don't like what the wave looks like. This is a sensitive topic, and Cowherd's bluntness stirred controversy. Some agree that Clark, as a white player in a predominantly black league, faces resentment for the attention she's getting. Others argue that this narrative oversimplifies things, pointing out that Clark's struggles, like her recent shooting woes, are part of her adjustment to the WNBA's physicality and defensive intensity. The truth likely lies in a gray area. Clark's prominence has amplified existing tensions, and race may play a role in how some players and fans perceive her. Let's ground this in the WNBA's financial reality. The league has never turned a profit, relying on NBA subsidies to stay afloat. Clark's arrival has changed the game, bringing in revenue that could finally push the WNBA into the black. Cowherd argued that this season, despite Clark's injuries, is likely the least profitable the league will be for the next decade, thanks to her momentum. The "pay us what you owe us" protest shows that players know they have leverage now, but targeting Clark risks derailing that progress. The league's players stand to make a lot more money because of Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Buchers, Cowherd said. The pettiness kind eyes the potential growth of the sport. He's got a point. Clark's star power, along with other young talents like Reese and Buchers, is driving the WNBA toward a brighter financial future. But public spats like this one can undermine the collective push for progress. Plum and Clark's history suggests there's no real beef between them. They've shared lighthearted moments, like Clark trolling Plum on social media about her Under Armour deal while Clark reps Nike. When Clark broke Plum's NCAA scoring record at Iowa, they exchanged warm words. Plum's trade to the Sparks this offseason and her status as a veteran show she's seen the WNBA's ups and downs. Her comment might have been a misstep, but she's been a vocal advocate for the league's growth. Still, in the court of public opinion, perception often trumps intent, and Plum's remark came at the worst possible time. So, where does this leave us? Cowherd's takedown of Plum was a defense of Clark, the WNBA's biggest asset. He sees her as the key to the league's future, and the numbers back him up. But his harsh words for Plum and the broader WNBA player base might have deepened the divide rather than bridging it. Plum's comment, whether a joke or not, was ill-timed, especially when the league needed to project unity. The t-shirt protest was a powerful moment, but it got overshadowed by this drama. This controversy also raises bigger questions about the WNBA's identity. Is it a league that can embrace its new stars while honoring its veterans? Can it balance the push for pay equity with the need to capitalize on its newfound popularity? Clark's presence has opened doors, but it's also exposed tensions that need to be addressed. Players like Plum, Ionescu, and others have a right to demand better compensation and working conditions, but they'll need to navigate these waters carefully to keep the momentum going. Cowherd's "stop talking" message might be blunt, but it's a reminder that public spats can hurt the cause more than help it. Let's zoom out and look at the broader context. The WNBA is at a pivotal moment. The 2025 season has seen record-breaking viewership, with Clark's games averaging millions of viewers. Sponsorship deals are pouring in, and the league is negotiating a new media rights package that could significantly boost player salaries. But with great opportunity comes great responsibility. The players' t-shirt protest was a bold move, signaling that they're ready to fight for their fair share. Yet, moments like Plum's comment and Cowherd's response highlight the fragility of this moment. The WNBA can't afford to let internal drama overshadow its progress. What's next for Clark and Plum? For Clark, it's about getting healthy and continuing to elevate the league. Her injury-plagued season has been a challenge, but her potential remains limitless. For Plum, it's about learning from this misstep and focusing on her role as a leader in the league. The Sparks are in a rebuilding phase, and Plum's experience will be crucial. As for the WNBA, it's about harnessing the momentum from stars like Clark, Reese, and others to secure a sustainable future. As fans, we have to ask, is this drama a one-off misunderstanding or a sign of deeper issues? Is Clark getting unfair treatment from her peers, or is this just the growing pains of a league in transition? Was Cowherd too harsh on Plum, or did she deserve the reality check? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more takes on the biggest stories in sports. Until next time, stay locked in, and we'll see you in the next one.